Morning, sports fans. We are like day 8, I think, today. Day 9, maybe. I don't know. Service day, first rest day of the trip. So bikes need some loving. My bike's been not too bad. Couple of loose bolts here and there. Oh, the rack things come loose, but nothing much. But I am gonna, I think, take the tank off, check things underneath, because I got a bit of a rattle. I think it's probably the chain, but seeing as we're here, may as well have a look at it. Tank's off is pretty easy on these bikes. This one, a little bit more work involved. This one's got some leakage going on, and it's got an idle problem as well. So we're going to clean that up. So we've got a super cheap auto. Get some oil. I got some filters already, and do an oil change. And the rest is just inspection, really. Check the air filters. I reckon the air filters will be pretty good. Paddles might be a bit dirty. So yeah, let's go to the streets of Alice Springs, which is more dangerous than the Simpson Desert, I think, at this stage. It's like a war zone out there. Hopefully we'll be out and back in here before the locals wake up, because Paddy went out and got some beers yesterday, and yeah, he come back white as a sheet, even whiter than he normally is. Alright, let's brave the streets of Alice Springs.
We are now on day 8 of this ride, and it's time to service these bikes and fix up any issues, and resupply for the rest of the 5,000 Ks on this trip. Cruising around these streets in normal clothes and the bike's half stripped, it probably looks like we've stolen these things. We are blending right in with the local atmosphere currently in Alice Springs. First thing we got to do is wash these things. No one likes working on a dirty bike. We then head over to the bike shop to try and get the countershaft oil seal that we had flown up from Adelaide for Pado's leaking bike. But when we got there, the shop was shut. In fact, all bike shops were shut in Alice Springs for something called Fish's Run. It's an annual memorial bike ride for a guy called Fish that was killed on his Harley after hitting a camel many years ago. Bad luck and timing, I suppose. Not as bad as poor old Fish, I guess. So Pado is just going to have to live with his leaking bike for a few more 1,000 kilometers. At least that's one job he doesn't have to do this afternoon. Every cloud, as they say. We're all out of camp food now after the desert crossing, so we head over to Desert Dwellers for a restock. We don't plan on any more nights out in the bush. Pots, palmies and pub stays is what we're going to do from now on, but you never know what's going to happen. Time to hit Super Crap Auto now for some stuff to service these bikes with. We brought our own oil filters, so just the oil and bits and pieces, rags or whatever, and let's get back to the campsite for some work. But I still need to find a new bike jacket. I lost it in day 1 of the desert, and I've been wearing work shirts ever since, but I can't do the rest of the trip like this. We went everywhere to try and find one of these, but nothing was open. We had one last chance, good old Vinnie's.
Well, after about 10 shops to try and find a motorbike jacket, good old Vinnie's to the rescue. 45 bucks for this dry rider. Little ding dang do for me. What a day. Desert was easier than this mission. Now we're going to go back, service the bikes, wash all the gear. Whew, it's going to be a long day, and it's already like 11 o'clock. Alright, deep breaths.
These DRZ 400s have a 6,000 K oil service interval, so it's pretty good, but after what we've just put them through, it's definitely time for some fresh fluids and a big bike check over. So off with the tank for a check underneath for any issues, any chafing, whatever, and a nut and bolt check. Then the oil change. The bike hasn't burnt anything so far, but we always carry extra oil just in case, along with all the other spare parts we carry between us for these really remote rides. Luckily we got the same bike, so we can share the load. My bike looks all pretty good, back together. Time to tackle Pado's carby job now. We take it out and he strips the carby down and finds a blocked pilot jet. That is probably the issue that he fought all the way across the Simpson. That's one thing about the carbies. In remote places like these, they're so resilient. They can have heaps of minor little issues and they'll still get you there. They might not run perfect, but they'll plod along. Plus, you can have a crack at fixing them on the side of the road. With a fuel-injected bike, for the most part, the computer will just say no and you'll be stuck with no chance of fixing it. I know a lot of people would disagree with me out there, but I've heard enough stories that a carby bike is for me, especially with these outback fuel stations where it can be a bit hit and miss with the quality of the juice. Anyway, we get it back together and time for the test ride.
Is it alive? It's cold as. Doesn't sound good. Paddo's coming back after the test ride. Don't look good.
Huh?
How was it?
Runs nice, but it just doesn't oil.
Sounds pretty good to me. Just the idle to adjust and get these things loaded up and packed up, ready for tomorrow's ride. How good are we on the tools, you ask? Well, you guys will have to tune in for tomorrow's episode to find out. But I'll give you a little hint. One of the bikes came close to blowing up very soon after leaving Alice Springs. Catch you guys in the next episode where we head to the amazing Fink Gorge past the West McDonald Ranges. See ya!